Welcome to Gender Talk 211. My name is Eva Lopa and I am your host. Today we welcome an inspiring trailblazer whose voice first echoed through Radio SPLA during the liberation struggle. From shaping narratives as a journalist to shaping policy as a politician. Please welcome a woman who was once known as the voice of the revolution, former government chief whip and current member of the parliament, Honorable Rebecca Joshua. Honorable Rebecca, you are most welcome to the show. I know it's not your first time on Gender Talk 211, but it's your first time on Gender Talk 211 on SSBC. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm so happy, so excited to have you. First, let me ask, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy, energetic, continuing with my service to the people. And I pray that God gives me more energy and life to continue and much more to mentor the youth that have come behind us. So I'm good.
Very, very important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is this the first time that you'll be able to tell your journey with media? Because I find it very, very amusing and also disturbing that we don't get to hear those stories of how it all started for the women who opened doors for us.
It's not the first time, but I tell them in bits, whatever kind of question that comes forward. But I'll be happy to join the nuts and see how it goes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So first, take me all the way back from where it all started. Where were you raised, or where were you born? Where did it start from?
I was born in a place called Obel. Obel was a small area close to Dolep Hill. And this is where the missionaries were. Dolep Hill was the first center where the missionaries, that is in my area, south of Malakal. It's actually now within what we call Panyakang County, that is my county, and the one I also represent in Parliament. I'm a daughter of a Christian family, so my dad was part of that. And Dolep Hill Missionary Center was formed in 1902, so it was known as a very big headquarters in the history of Christianity in South Sudan. So I was born there, and then it didn't take us long that the family moved to Khartoum.
Yes.
And in Khartoum, we lived there when my dad went back to school, American high school. 4 of us were already born. And I grew there in Khartoum, in Omdurman, and then I went to school, primary school, in evangelical school in Khartoum North. We call Khartoum Bahri.
Bahri, yes.
So I had my whole primary school in Khartoum Bahri Evangelical School. Then now my parents moved back to Malakal, and I said finishing 6 years of primary school in a boarding school, I think this is enough. Now I want to go back and join my parents. I went to Malakal.
Yes. Is that where you did secondary school?
Yes, I did what we call junior secondary school by then. And then now you go to senior secondary school. I did the 3 years in Malakal, Bandar Junior Secondary School. A lot of memories there. And then when we sat for examinations, my dad was a member of parliament in Juba. He was elected to parliament. Then I don't know why among my colleagues, I was maybe the address by then that my dad was in Juba. Then I was sent to Juba Girls Secondary School, first year.
Yes.
My mom was in Malakal with my siblings and only my dad here. And for me, I said, me, I can't. Every time we meet with my dad on Sunday in school, I tell him, I'm not going to continue here. I have to go back. But then during the systems of schools, if you are in first year, they never allow you to be transferred. So my dad
have to finish.
You have to finish first year. And then they will find out the reasons why they want to transfer you.
Yes.
So every Sunday we go to school, I'll cry. I tell my dad I'm going away. I'm not going to continue school. But then he promised that he will find a school for me. There were two reasons. Partly that is not what I expected of the standard of the school. Teachers were few. We spent time playing volleyball. I'm also a sportswoman. And we joined even some federations. I was in Al Marikh team. And, when we sit for exam, I get the best records, and,
Yes.
and I don't have to compete. But already we had agreed with my dad long time ago that some of us are going to be among the girls who are going to go to the university direct. No repeating schools, no nothing. Girls were few joining universities. I was one who had already pledged to my dad because he really promoted education.
That you'll be going to university.
So I felt that school was not suitable for me. But my dad kept his promise. When I finished first year, then he transferred me to Kosti Secondary School in northern Sudan by then. So I went to Kosti. It was a good school, good standard, competitions, and you can do extracurricular things, but still the teaching was perfect. And there some of us felt, academically also it's going to go. So I finished secondary school in Kosti, sat for exam, got good percentage. I joined the university in Alexandria in Egypt.
Many South Sudanese actually went to school
there. Yes, exactly. So I went to university, finished my 4 years in school, the university, graduated, and came back home.
Did you already know from back in secondary that media or communications or journalism would be the career you're going for?
I didn't know, but there is something, I always say God will speak to you, and I still believe that. When I was very young, I was calm, not noisy child, not too much jumping around, but when I speak, my messages go.
Yes.
Also, when I joined primary school, it's like I was picked Sunday school first. I was leading our small choir of the babies. You have, Sunday school. And our voices were being recorded, and they were taken somewhere. But serious people, including some white people, and then the sister of our matron, Mrs. Serena, and also my uncle was working in Omdurman television. So there will be a big crew that comes, and then they record, and I will always be in front, and I'm the one who's guiding the Sunday school. And, my voice was to start the hymns. Then there was that kind of signals that
this would be it.
Yeah, something is happening. Then now in primary school, I went to Arabic schools, of course. We had a poem in Arabic which says, يا ترى ماذا أصير عندما أغدو كبيرة؟ هل ترى أغدو طبيبة أو زعيمة أو وزيرة أو ترى أغدو أديبة أو صحفيا شهيرة.
Oh, wow.
So the poem in Arabic was saying, what would you be when you grow?
When you grow up.
A doctor, a leader, a minister,
or
a famous journalist.
Yes.
Then this word صحفية is classical Arabic. We're still picking up. We know إعلامي, but صحفية, not much. So I was telling myself with my friends that none of this, but this صحفية, I don't know what it means because I understand the rest. I want this صحفية, which I don't know what it is, out of curiosity.
This one that sounds classic.
That sounds classic and special, and not many of us. So I want this صحفية شهيرة. I don't know. So when I went later and asked what a Sahafiya was, well, a famous journalist, I said, yes, that's what I want.
That's the one.
When I went to the university, before going, I applied for the faculty. That time, the Egyptians said they are not going to admit students from outside because they already have the university packed. So I went to arts, where I did English and linguistics, translation, and the rest. But then I missed going to the faculty. But then I continued with whatever I like until that time when I joined the SPLA, the liberation movement, that now first deployment, late Dr. John Garang Dumabior, our leader, deployed me directly to Radio SPLA.
He knew. We saw it. He knew.
And I just told myself, wow, look how things work. And that's where now I started moving, and then now the other assignments came in
Came
here and
about.
there. Yeah.
Yes. Just to go back to university, you said you did English, linguistics, and so on.
Yeah.
Before, you also said you received your education in Arabic.
Yes.
In secondary school, primary. At that point, there was no English. You did not do English studies.
We had ABCD in primary school.
Okay.
Because our primary school was initially, the evangelical school was American school. But then after, when we joined, it was already Sudanized.
Yes.
So everything turned Arabic. We had some English classes, which was better than those who were in purely Arabic schools. But it was a lot of really beginners. Then I went to Malakal. We were purely Arabic school, but we also have some English. We could have what we call English readers, 1, 2, or 3. We had the stories of Mr. Bimbo and Mr. Ambo. We had things like Reader 2, where I was later on named Mr. A in school. Because Mr. A had a pocket, and I also had a pocket. So I was Mr. A in school. And that is the English we had. Everything was in Arabic. Only English lessons, we call them.
Yes.
And,
like in one class.
Yes, one class. And, you know, you read, you take grammar, and what it was not that bad. But it was not the English you would say. So we're all purely Arabic girls, but, you know, the English class would come. Yes. But then it depends on also how you pick it. For me also, I was very keen because my late dad he comes from the English pattern. And when we give him something in Arabic, he will say, look, girls, this Arabic is good as a language, but it will not take you very far. You improve your English. Even when I was in Juba Secondary School, I would write a letter to my dad, and then he will take it and edit and send me back the edited version because he wanted me to improve my writing.
Yes.
So I also took English in my heart as very important, and that I need to improve. We have no excuse of saying we are from Arabic pattern ends of it because
this
he
is
said the road
will
close. And my colleagues at the university, especially the elder colleagues there of Mafan at the university, and especially from my community. This one, you want to fail? You want to be chased away from the university, being among the first girls of my community to go to the university. I had ahead of me our eldest sister, I call her sister from the community, Amina. She was the one ahead of us, graduated. Then I was almost like the second girl in my community to go to the university. So I was very important and very special.
Yes.
Now for me to be chased away from the university was going to be an issue, isn't it?
Of course.
So my colleagues were worried about me going into English, which was not easy. But I told them I'll try. I hadn't done it before. And that is English, history, of England and Europe and all this, not only literature, poetry, Shakespeare, name it, novels, all this. What are you going to do? I told them I'll try. And if I fail, I'm still young. And guess what? I passed.
Not just
and it's like, wow, look at this one. After I was scolded very severely by my colleagues, and they were surprised.
Yes, she wanted you to succeed.
So now I was just like the other girls or boys. Class 3, I twisted my tongue like them. And we started speaking English, and and I was doing very well in my performance, and I graduated in 4 years without any qualms. So it was like a surprise. And even those ones who were very annoyed with me, they said, wow, that is, I mean, we don't know.
Should be impossible, or shouldn't be possible for you to do that.
Yeah. So that's how now I moved on, and I did English, literature, linguistics, poetry, novel, criticism, and translation.
Yes.
And that translation, given my Arabic and the English I acquired, made me also a bit of exceptional at some point.
It's not only exceptional, you later took that energy and went on to become the voice of a revolution.
Yes, of the revolution.
Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
In South Sudan, beads carry stories. stories of beauty, pride, and identity. From weddings to celebrations, beads have always spoken our language of culture. At Suk Sukna, meaning our beads, women and girls are bringing this tradition to life again, handcrafting unique designs inspired by South Sudanese and Pan African cultures. Each bead is more than decoration, it's empowerment. Every purchase supports a woman earning an income, a girl learning a skill, and a family building a future. Whether you want beads for sale, hire, or a custom design, Suk Sukna offers elegance rooted in tradition. Visit Mama Sakit Village today or contact us on 0921 792 495 or email mamarasakitvillage@gmail.com. Let's wear our culture with pride.
We're back on Gender Talk 211, diving deeper into a media legend's tale with Honorable Rebecca Joshua. Honorable Rebecca, I have to say, I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Thank you.
I've known you for some time, but I always love when we get one of the women that have inspired us so much and you're telling your story. Just outside of the interview, have you thought of writing a book, maybe?
Yes, I thought of it, and time went on, every time saying, oh, we are busy. But I got a lot of challenge from people telling me, you want to leave your story behind without writing. So last month, I told myself it's time now to embark on that, and I have just started.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally. So we can get a book by next year?
I don't want to start blowing the trumpet.
Yes.
But let us pray for it.
Inshallah.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay.
Yes.
So now back to Alexandria.
Yes.
You passed with flying colors, finished your 4 years. You also did a master's,
Yes.
correct? You did your master's in I'm guessing, communications?
Yes.
Yes. Communications. Tell me about you joining the SPLA. How did that come about?
Yes. We are a generation that, as I said, my family moved to Khartoum.
Yes.
It was around 63, 64 when the war was raging in South Sudan, by then Southern Sudan, or the south part of the country. And it was this kind of problems that my dad moved to Khartoum with us, very small. Then for us, we didn't know why we moved. I was barely, say, 4 years thereabout, because only the brother who follows me was the one in the arms. So I should be 4 years thereabout. I didn't know what was the issue, but we found ourselves in Khartoum.
Yes.
Now in Khartoum, I remember, but very faintly, that there was a problem and some Southerners were killed. And you know, when the parents are talking, and my mom is that one with soft heart, she was crying, and then we heard that there were some Southerners who were killed, butchered. And later on, we came to know the story when the late Clement Mboro was to go to Khartoum. He was by then a senior minister from South Sudan, and then he delayed the airplane, and then the Junubin thought he was killed because of these sentiments, and then there was a lot of problems and people were killed. That one also was faint, but I came later to remember, because you know, when you are a child, your observations, you know, mom is crying, you don't know why, dad was busy, and we were very few families in Khartoum by then. So this one was one second small trigger. After we left home, one, we didn't know why. Secondly, parents were sad. There was something. Then, when we finished, 1972, I finished my primary school. And then, but before we finished, we were still in Khartoum, we were in boarding, as I said. Then we got a story, my uncle came to school, and that the communication was that our uncle, late Matthew Pagan, who was a senior member of the Anyanya, was killed. Okay, there was a problem, but not much. Anyway, because it's news about death, we cried. But for me, I didn't know, well, it was later that when we came home to Malakal, then now there were a series of news that our uncle was killed, our 2 cousins were killed, and why? Because of the war.
Yes.
So that was the war, the first war of the Anyanya. Now we started feeling that, okay. And in our home, there were a number of widows. And because my dad was like, okay, was not the most senior, but the most educated in our home, everybody was living with us when we were in Malakal. We were then in the missionary compound in Malakal. We had a big house, but then relatives were coming. I don't know, this one was killed, cousin Adiang Kur was killed, his brother Jago Kur was killed, then my uncle Matthew Pagan was killed, and then now, the whole place was sadness and loss of giants. I remember my cousin Adiang was very tall and a big guy, and the Jago, I never saw him. Even Uncle late Matthew, I did not see him, but there were people who mattered to the family direct apart from others. So for me, that was a story of then now started to think. Then the wife of the late Uncle Matthew was brought from Gambela to our home. She was pregnant and she was crying. Then she delivered a baby and her name was Akij. Akij means the orphan. Then now the story was building. Then because she was, crying throughout, that was her first baby. Then now my mother thought of bringing her to our room so that, she can have a bit of our presence there.
Village around her.
Around her. So that sadness, my grandmom, everybody. So now that's really when I felt there is something and the stories were coming out that there is war and the war has killed our people and it is Sudan, the oppressive governments and all this. Now it continued like that. Now when we went to junior secondary school, now the issues about the Jungule Canal came up, the issues about Bentiu, which was named the Unity State, and Khartoum wanted to grab it because of the oil that was found there. Now the political dimension came there. And my dad was also an intellectual, very active in those kind of things, but being done not in a noisy way.
Yes.
So I tell you, those stories really brought into us. Even the demonstration done in Malakal about the Jungule Canal, we were still younger, but we participated and the police was running after us, was beating us. And the only thing that freed us from there is because the police by then thought the boys are the noisy ones. And some of us were still tiny that way. And then we were asked, are you students? We said, no, we are pupils. And then they left us. So this one was an accumulation of the problems, the death, the suffering of our people, and now we really got to learn. Until that time when we went to class 2, university, then now we started interacting with the senior, I will call them lecturers at the University of Khartoum, the late Peter Nyotkok, late Kunujuak, Dr. Lamakol, name them. By 1983, some of our colleagues had gone to join the revolution.
The liberation struggle.
The liberation struggle.
Yes.
And some of us were already like filled up.
Yes.
Yes. So I graduated in 1983. Before I went back to Malakal home, the September laws also came in. The revolution had started 1983, May. 16 May had already started. And for us, it's a matter of which way and when and how. But then for us, you're just finishing university, you're not that able to decide what to do for yourself. And also, we're still younger, 25 years old.
Yes.
To join the liberation.
Yes.
Went to Malakal. 1984, I started working as Assistant Inspector of Labor. in Malakal. 1985, I continued working. By 1986, I got married. Now, I got married.
1986 is when you also joined officially.
Yes.
Became a member of the
Of the
SPLA.
liberation of the SPLA, and that is why in the SPLA I am called the Bride of the Revolution. That's another name. I have so many names.
Oh, I never knew that one.
Yes, the Bride of the Revolution, because I went with the henna in my hands, you know. And that is the top of sacrifice. If nobody knows that,
Definitely.
some of us, you know, Arusa, and then, you know, you go. So I got married 1986, and, you know, I think we stayed for only 1 month and plus, because by May 18th, we departed, went and joined the revolution.
Yes.
So I actually, as Arusa, as a bride, I stayed only 1 month and a half, if I could say that. But by then already, there's no way but to go.
It was far more important. The cause was far more important.
Cause, exactly. And when we talk about sacrifice, we are not talking about, you know, imaginary. It was a sacrifice. The honeymoon was in the bush.
Yeah.
Bush honeymoon. So this is now, we joined the revolution and we went there, and then we were deployed.
Yes.
Yes. Now my husband was taken to a different direction, and I was taken to a different direction, and that was the beginning now of doing so many things during that. 1983, that the Sharia law was announced, but already the South was prepared, because we already had the Anyanya 1 that tried, then Anyanya 2 came in. Southerners were fed up of issues of identity, and then issues of respect and dignity.
Yes.
Now add fuel on fire. That happened. But then your question was that, what is it? Yes, all this put together, we were young, but leaders in our own right. We could see what happened. We saw the death, we saw the displacement, we saw the backwardness, we saw the lack of respect to our dignity and our identity. And since already those ahead of us have already seen it and analyzed it, there was no way but to be part of that, with the aim of one day we want to be independent, we want to have our say, we want to take care of our country and our people, so that we also grow like any other people in the world.
Yes.
So why should I remain behind if there is a cause? If there is a cause. And I really felt privileged that our late leader, John Garang also recognized me among the so many women. They were given different assignments, but I was so privileged and so happy to be assigned to be in the media unit, apart from other so many assignments that I had done. But as you said, I was part of the voice of the revolution. And that was in my heart from the very beginning, Sahafiyan.
The one that sounds
the
like
one that
classic.
sounds like a classic.
Yes.
And I want it, even if I don't know what it means.
Yes. No, I'm glad. I'm really glad that you took that path.
Thank you.
We'll find out more. We'll be right back.
In South Sudan, beads carry stories. Stories of beauty, pride, and identity. From weddings to celebrations, beads have always spoken our language of culture. At Suk-Sukna, meaning our beads, women and girls are bringing this tradition to life again, handcrafting unique designs inspired by South Sudanese and Pan-African cultures. Each bead is more than decoration, it's empowerment. Every purchase supports a woman earning an income, a girl learning a skill, and a family building a future. Whether you want beads for sale, hire, or a custom design, Suk-Sukna offers elegance rooted in tradition. Visit Mamarasakit Village today or contact us on 0921 792 495 or email mamarasakit@gmail.com. Let's wear our culture with pride.
We're back with Gender Talk 2-on-1. And I have to say, this interview is fast turning into one of my all-time favorites. Truly, because I just think we don't have enough. Not we don't have enough, but there aren't enough platforms that are telling women's stories. Just documenting women's stories and the history and how decisions came about and everything that we're learning from you today. There's not enough research that I think we could have done to even compare to you actually sitting here and telling us exactly what happened. So I'm really excited for all of you to tune in and watch this episode. Now going back to SPLA, 1986, you became a member of the SPLA.
Yeah.
What is the first assignment?
My first assignment, and it was very quick, I was assigned to Radio SPLA, the voice of the Sudanese Revolutionary Armed Struggle, which was heralding all around the country and outside the country, because we were on shortwave. It was not FM, it was a shortwave, and therefore it was going far beyond. And that assignment was, to me, very important, and I loved it so much. I did other things, of course. For us, it's an environment of a revolution, the SPLA, Sudan People's Liberation Army, Sudan People's Liberation Movement. So you are under command, you are under orders, and then everything is this is your work. So apart from that, I was also in between, asked to go for some work. One of them, for example, there was peace talks in Sweden. And this is where also the trend of sending me on international or foreign assignments also were coming in. So I was ordered to go to the camps where our people were, the South Sudanese who ran away from inside because of the war. Went to Itang refugee camp, to Penyudu refugee camp, to Dimo refugee camp, and together with the cameraman and some recorders, we went and took some shots of the refugees and their situation, the humanitarian situation, because we were to take that on behalf of the revolution to Sweden to also tell our stories. That was one assignment. The other one was to Norway. We were also doing mobilization, the people also sending our messages outside for other institutions, government, humanitarian, to hear about the cause of the revolution. I was also on that mission. There were two of us with late Daniel Court Matthews, DK. We were also sent for the first time that SPLA came out from its bushes to Egypt, and it was to represent the Middle East. It was a delegation led by late Commander Yusuf Kua, late Jasen Yach, late Mario Moore, and my humble self. Unfortunately, my comrades have all gone to the Lord. And I remain to tell their stories, and honestly, I'll be happy to mention their names. It was a very important delegation that we went and met the Egyptian leaders, the president, and all these people. And then also we're able, now mind you, that was my school home, Egypt. And then, going back there, and then, it's like, Rebecca Betana Tawambare there? And then we came, it was big reception, the SOSA people, the association.
Yes.
Because we're a big movement of students. And then now I became celebrity. And then it's like the story of, so the Mutamaridin, that's how the Jalaba used to call us. But, we are people of the bush. And they were just there to see us, even to touch us. And to just, and then now, even when I found some of my colleagues who had not gone home, I say, okay, Rebecca, so soon you become one of these leaders. So that is the assignment. It was big, but we managed also to talk to the students there. And, mind you, a number of them joined the liberation. It was also one of the missions. You meet the leadership of that country, send diplomatic messages, but also advocate for the revolution, for the voice of the Sudanese, South Sudanese by then to join the revolution. It had a very big impact by then. Also, there was a time I was assigned to be part of the delegation of peace. That was in 1987 to negotiate with the Anyanya II. The Anyanya II, some remained in the bush after the Anyanya I came home in 1972. Some of them were not satisfied with the agreement of 1972. They remained and they continued to fight the government. When the SPLA came in, some of them were still there and they became hostile to the SPLA. So the SPLA had to organize negotiations with them so that we come together. Yeah, so I was also the only lady among all these gentlemen that were in the delegation. Among them were late Edward Lino and a number of them. So that was also another assignment. So I was in the media, but I would be plucked and asked to go for this and come back and continue. But my main assignment was there. So, and this is an opportunity really to mention some of my colleagues in the radio with whom we worked.
Yes.
And I pay respect to their souls. Many of them are gone. And I will always ask God, give me a chance to remain and tell that story. Late Marhum Dutkat, late Chao Mayol, Michael Aban Nyawan, Kizito Odoho, Maker Benjamin, and many of them, our unit. And I also give appreciation to our commander and leader, Atem Yakatem, who is alive now. He is in Australia, but he was also a very good leader who kept us together. And we're doing very tough work. My colleague, Muke Batali, is still here. I'm happy to mention his name also. We were a unit, but very strong unit. A unit that our late leader, John Garang Demabur, used to call us a division. And a division in the army is a whole body of battalions put together. And battalions are thousands.
Yes.
So that small unit by itself was equal to thousands because of soldiers and army, because we were very effective. We were the ones who were informing our people of the cause of the revolution and how the revolution is going on. We're mobilizing, we're advocating, people were joining the revolution in their thousands. So most of these soldiers and individuals and politicians who joined the SPLA for the cause of the revolution and the liberation, the Radio SPLA was a voice. Very I was also with my English that fight.
Yes.
I was in the English department, but also I was doing with Arabic and mother tongue. Mother tongue, I would help late Michael Aban, who was doing Cholo language. And in English, with the late Chao Mayol, we would do Arabic programs. With our colleague Yasser Arman, who is alive, we do Arabic press review. And you know, we're getting the newspapers from Khartoum.
Yes.
They will arrive and Khartoum will be surprised that, you know, and most of our news, we know what was going on in the palace in Khartoum now. And that will come on the news. And English, Moki Batali is alive. And then we really have to also pay tribute to Marhum Dutkat. Marhum was a Sharia Sudani, was a big program that really, you know, it was simple Arabic and he was very good in that. And our people were really attracted to that. The feedback we were getting was that when time comes in Sudan, 3 o'clock, the Junubians, some will hide under the beds, some will lock their doors. Women who are cooking will very quickly finish their work so that they go and listen to Radio SPLA, because the news, whether Southern Sudan or in Khartoum or wherever, we became like the BBC.
Of course.
That the people will trust the BBC, not the local media. The same thing they were doing with Radio SPLA. It was really a big contribution to the liberation. And I'm humbled to say that, I mean, if I was not given that assignment, I would have done any other thing in the liberation. I would have been deployed to any of the front lines. But this one for me was significant, and because I loved that work. You can't imagine when we capture a town, the way we dance in the studio, and the news and the martial music and all this. And our armies will be really celebrating in the front line.
Yes.
So it was beautiful. I loved it.
I remember being really, really young, and the first time I heard your name was from my father, and that's how I was introduced to the voice of the revolution. I want to know from your perspective, how true is it that fabrications were being made? How difficult was it for you at SPLA Radio to now sort of have a comeback and put out the truth of what was happening or any information that needed to be passed on?
Yeah, I just want to remind us that the revolution was not a simple path, and the struggle was not easy, and the sacrifice made by our people was not that small. Khartoum was not happy. Not that was not happy, but we were really a thorn in the flesh. First, calling us rebels, mutamaridin, kharijin, and al-qanun, and all these outlaws, was not just words, but they were really anger. But it's natural, you know, when you are a government and somebody is opposing you, it's not easy. Yes, and give it that strength and power of the SPLA, SPLM by then. We're really conquering a lot, capturing towns and all this. It was not easy, downing planes and jet fighters. Even one of my experience was to interview a pilot whose jet MiG was downed by the SPLA. So one of those things. But Khartoum was not happy with us by then. And we had to really work hard. We also had trainings. We had gone for trainings, and we kept on also improving our ability to do our media. Part of it, call it propaganda, but not propaganda in the sense of not telling the truth. On the contrary, when we say we have captured a town, it is true. Even if the media says of the oppressive government by then says that that is not true, at the end of the day, BBC will report it, others will report it. So that is the reality. Our strength was really sending them trembling, because when you open in our sick tune and you say, this is Radio SPLA, you know, the first thing, SPLA captured this name of a town, and then you put the martial music. That one was not auguring well at all, and it was the truth. We had, for example, as I said, the press review, the newspapers coming from Sudan direct.
Yes.
So how would you deny that Jaridat al-Ayyam, the Ayyam newspapers or any of our Sahafa, is from Khartoum? It's there, and I'm reading the copy of it you have inside there. That is the reality. The literature we're taking out, we're giving out in terms of our programs, these are things that is the reality on the ground. So they tried even to jam the Radio SPLA. They were sending signals on the same frequency that we had, and the radio was so noisy that the listeners sometimes will find it irritating. But we were not just a guerrilla warfare. We also became conventional. And even with the guerrilla situation we had at the very beginning, we were also of a generation of learned and intellectuals. So we even knew how to move away from that frequency and still be heard by our listeners and by our people.
Yes.
So we had a lot to give in terms of information, material, trustworthy, cross-checked. And as a revolution, we told ourselves we are going to tell our people the truth. And we will be very clear telling Khartoum that you are doing wrong to our people.
Yes.
So that is what we were doing. We were the voice of the people. We were the liberation for our people. We were the liberation for freedom. And therefore, they had no alternative but not to accept us, but knowing the reality that we exist. And also our systems within were so strong that our news from the front line, as far as Nimule, from Barghazal, from Blue Nile, from Nuba Mountains, because we went all over up to the Nuba Mountains and Eastern Sudan. So trustworthy news, information, that was credible, that was checked, and there was no way but to accept. So I believe we managed and we succeeded, and we're able to give out all the information that is needed for our people. The joining of the revolution was so huge, and the battalions were graduating every other time. My thanks should go to the people of South Sudan who listened to what we said. And today, when we are independent, I believe what we were doing was not wrong, but to liberate our country.
Yes.
And to our leaders, and also to the rural, to grassroots, to our people who were giving us food. As freedom fighters, we didn't have our own as such. We're eating from their eggs, their chicken, they will give us dura, we eat belila, whatever, but we're going on because of the support of our people outside there. So my thanks also go to our people. We still have not done much to thank them, but we are still going to do much to thank them.
Alhamdulillah, we're here
Yes.
today.
Yes.
And now reflecting on all of this, on your journey
Yes.
As a journalist, looking at South Sudan post-independence, what are your thoughts about media and how do you think it can become better?
Yes, I would just want to say first that from Radio SPLA, I moved to BBC Monitoring Service in Nairobi, the East African unit. I worked for Sudan Radio Service, which has now transformed into iRadio. I trained the CEOs, and the senior people today are the people I trained, so I'm happy that also I managed to grow and also produce others. I did my MA in communications in Daystar University to also improve on my communication skills.
I also know you were in Cuba at some point.
Yes, I went to Cuba for training, and yes, and that's why I was mentioning that we were not just guerrilla warfare, but we also improve and enhance, and we did a lot of extensive training in war studies, in media, propaganda, you know,
Yes.
all these kind of things. So I managed to gather a wealth of knowledge in media, in journalism, and all the skills of take it from interviewing to all types of programs. So I'm happy that some of these skills we also gave them to the younger ones, and we are still there ready to monitor, to mentor them in that media. And as I said earlier, our colleagues, the late Alfred Taban, Victor Logala, my colleague, and a number of them, we also work together all along. And I also joined some institutions like Association of International Women in radio and journalism and television, and name it, so many of these things. So there's a lot we've contributed. We humbly say that. This knowledge should not die with us, but we give it forward. Now, for the media in our country, so far, I would say we're doing well, and I want to give accolades to the younger journalists and those who are also in the field now. But I want to say that we should not stop there. We need to continue with training. And for me, at the BBC monitoring, I was also trained as a monitor. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, there is no fly that goes on the screen that I don't see. Mm. All of you here and outside there in the media, I sometimes call individuals and tell them, look, if you had done this, it would have been better. Your interview was okay, but you were short of follow-up questions. You missed important things. Those reporters from the field, because during our time, I did everything from studio, from recording, being on the console, from being in the field, from being in the military environment and all this. So I always like to give my input for the improvement of what we have.
Yes.
We need to improve our work in the media. We need to be trained. We need to become professionals. Even going on the beat, that's something I tell them when we train in the media. You are told, go out, and you can't come back without news. No, nothing. You can't be a journalist when you are sent on the beat. You have to come out. Apart from what we have learned in the revolution, that you don't leave even small thing flying around. Even the garbage on the road is news and is a program. So I want us to improve. We are now a free country.
Yes.
And we don't have to wait. And I tell the individuals, don't wait for the rest. My late father would tell us, don't be below the water. If people are lazying around, don't look at them. Be focused and go ahead. So we shouldn't say, oh, we don't have, it's because, and giving reasons, blaming the tools. Fine, there are challenges there. But what are you as individual doing for you to go up? That's what some of us did. We went through difficult times. During our times, we were using the reel. It was a tape, big thing like a wheel of a bicycle.
Arguably the most difficult
times. We were not erasing. It's not the technology now. You have to cut.
Yes.
Literally cut and splice together.
Yeah.
And when our programs are outside there, nobody will know what kind of a struggle we went through in the studio. But your work must be beautiful and perfect, and people will appreciate that. And you always want to hear feedback. What did I do? When you come in the evening, Radio SPLA, once we finish the studio, I had my small radio with me. Up to now, I'm still sleep with the radio next to me.
Yes.
I have to listen to the news I read, the news I wrote, the news I read, the program I presented, and I critique myself. And tomorrow I need to be careful. That's what I would want to encourage the young journalists. Be keen and make sure your work is perfect and is good, and people will be happy with you. So
Wonderful.
The sky is the limit, and we can do it now with the technology.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wonderful. No, thank you so much for coming on the show. I think we will need more conversations to come. Your resume alone is so extensive, so long, that one episode is absolutely not enough. We will have to keep doing this. And hopefully the next time that I have you on the show, there's a book sitting right here.
Right here.
Yes, that has been launched already. Yes, I'll keep following up on that. But thank you so much for honoring our invitation, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. May God bless you and keep up the job. We are proud of you.
Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next time.